There are pictures inside ancient Egyptian pyramids of jugglers, meaning that juggling has existed for at least 4,000 years. And in all that time, not much has changed. The fundamentals have stayed the same. You throw things up, and the earth pulls it back down. Now today, we're going to get into the ups and downs of this ancient art form so that you have this awesome skill in your bag of tricks. The art of juggling is basically the act of keeping more things in the air than you have hands. That means for most of us, that's 3 objects, or 2 if you're going to juggle with one hand. So today, we're going to learn how to juggle with things around your house. We're going to make some do-it-yourself silk scarves and some do-it-yourself juggling balls. Now, scarf juggling is the way that a lot of people first start learning to juggle in schools or at camps. And that's because they're big and colorful, but they're also slow. They fall slowly, and so it makes catching them a little bit easier. Now, a great homemade substitute to silk scarves are grocery store bags. You probably have a ton of these around your house. So in a moment, I'm going to show you how to juggle grocery store bags. But first, I want to remind you, never put a bag over your head or your little brother or sister's head or over the dog's head, because that can be very dangerous. You can suffocate, which means you can't breathe. So if you have a younger brother or sister, make sure that you don't leave these out, and definitely don't let a little baby play with them or leave them in a crib. That could be very dangerous. Plastic bag juggling. How do we do this? Well, first we want to start with one bag, and we're going to start by throwing and catching it. Now, juggling, we use 2 hands, so it's going to be very important to practice throwing it with both hands and practice catching it with both hands as well. So, how do we throw it? Well, one way is to grab it in your hand like this, and when you throw it, instead of throwing it up like you might a ball, instead have your hand facing down. So you lift it up or you carry it up, and then you catch it by swiping down with the other hand. Carry it up, swipe down. Carry it up, swipe down. Carry, swipe, carry, swipe, carry, swipe, carry, swipe. Now we'll move on to 2. Now there's lots of ways to juggle, and so I'm just going to show you 1 or 2 ways that you can begin learning. But of course you can make up your own way. There is no right or wrong way. So with 2, we're going to hold one bag in one hand, one bag in the other. And now we're going to work on timing here. I'm going to throw this ball up, or this bag up, like I showed before. And when it gets way up here, I'm going to throw the other one underneath it. I'm going to make a crisscross with them, or my arms are going to move in an X. 1, 2, so we throw one up, throw the second one up, and then catch the first one, catch the second one. Count them. 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh. 1, 2, 1, 2. Pretty good. 1, 2, 1, 2. Nice. Now, the third bag, how are we going to get that in? Well, before I get to that, let me show you a way you can do it too, with one hand. Now, I can throw one up, and then throw the second one up, catch the first one, and then when the second one's coming down, throw the first one up, catch the second one, and keep going. Looks like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Whoa! Might get wacky, but that's okay. It's juggling. So, moving on to 3. How do we do that? Well, the first thing we have to practice is how to throw one bag while holding a second bag in the same hand. Unless you have 3 hands, this is going to be very important. So, what we're going to do is we're going to hold the first one in our fist like this. And I'm going to use my pinchers, my thumb and my index finger, and I'm gonna hold a second bag in my hand. Now my fingers are gonna throw the first one while I hold the second one. So why don't you go ahead and practice that? All right. Now once you can do that, you're ready to get into 3 plastic bag juggling. And the way we're gonna do this is we are going to do that exchange. Now, let me go back to that exchange real quick where we throw one, throw the second one, catch, catch. We wanna practice this starting with both hands. I know it's gonna be harder in one direction than the other, but you've got this. So practice right, left, and then left, right, left, right. And when you can do that equally good on both sides, or just about, then you're ready for 3. So, one in my fist, one in my fingertip and thumb, one in the other hand. Now the trick to juggling is the hand that has 2 starts. So, I'm gonna throw the one in my pincher and thumb first. When it gets up here, I'm gonna throw the second one underneath it and catch the first one, just like I practiced with 2. 1, 2. But now, when that one's coming down, I'm gonna throw the third one up and catch a second one. It's back and forth, both hands back and forth. It's kind of like when you walk, you swing your arms back and forth. Juggling feels the same way. Count your throws, see how high you can get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You can make up tricks. You can change the pattern. You can try tricks like under the leg or behind the back. Again, there's no right or wrong way, so throw the plastic bags and see what happens. Now, of all the skills that we've learned in this series, I think juggling 3 balls is the one that takes the most practice. But it's also my favorite, and that's why I saved the best for last. See, I learned it when I was a teenager, and it forever changed my life. I've made friends, I've performed for people all across the world, and I'll tell you, my trips to the grocery store, picking up the oranges and the apples, has never been the same since. Now, first I'm going to show you how to make a couple of different types of juggling balls, and then I'll give you the 3 steps to practice to 3-ball juggling mastery. Now you can juggle practically anything that you can hold in your hand and throw and catch. So some balled up socks might work, or some tangerines, or I don't know, baseballs. But now I want to show you how to make a really nice juggling ball using both a tennis ball or some balloons and some birdseed. Now for a tennis balls are a good size to juggle, but they're a little bit light. So to make them a little bit heavier and a little bit easier to juggle, what we do is, with a parent's help, we cut a hole, just a slit actually, not a hole, but a slit, about that long, into the side of the tennis ball. And then you put in some pennies, 8 or 10 pennies. That'll give it some nice weight, and it'll also keep it from rolling away when you drop it. Now, sometimes you might think, well, I have to tape up the hole or the pennies will fall out. But tennis balls are made of rubber, and so it'll close up by itself. But if you want, you can certainly get some colorful tape and wrap some tape around it, and you could have stripes or crisscrosses or whatever your heart's desires. Now, another way to make a juggling ball is by using some, I'll show you. By using some balloons. Now, these are round 11-inch balloons. You can use balloons that are a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller, but it's important that they're fresh and they're round. You'll also need a water bottle or empty soda bottle, some bird seed. Yeah, this is what you plant to grow birds, but we're gonna make a juggling ball out of it. And you'll need a funnel and a measuring cup. And finally, you'll need a pair of scissors. The one other thing you need is you need a friend to help you, because we're gonna need some help stuffing balloons inside other balloons. Wonderful. Here's Dawn, my friend. Dawn, will you help me make a juggling ball? Okay, great. So first thing we're going to need to do is take some bird seed, and we're going to need about a ½ cup of bird seed. It's best if you get bird seed that does not have sunflower seeds in it. because sunflower seeds are big and kind of pointy. Sometimes they break the balloon. So if you can find a bird seed without that, it's better. So you're going to take the bird seed and you are going to pour that into a bottle using a funnel. Now what I like to do is after I fill the bottle with the bird seed, I'll just mark on the bottle where I fill to. That'll be my fill line, and I can just make sure all of the bottles are filled to the same amount and all the balloons are filled to the same amount. Yeah, because you're gonna make 3 juggling balls. So we need a big round balloon. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take the mouth of the balloon, we're gonna stretch it open, and we're gonna put it over the top, the mouth of the bottle. Now the reason we do this is because we're going to use the pressure of the air inside the bottle to push the bird seed into the balloon. So I'm going to turn it upside down, shake some in there, and then when I get to I can't get any more, I'm going to squeeze. See how I blow some air in there? And all the bird seed falls in. So now I'm going to take the balloon off. Ouch! No, it didn't. You're right. Now I could just tie this balloon right here if I wanted to, and then I'd have a juggling ball that has a knot in it. But we can do something even better with the help of a friend. So I'm gonna take this mouth here and I'm gonna fold it over and I'm gonna ask Dawn to hold that. And I'm gonna take a second balloon and I'm gonna stick my fingers in there and open up the mouth so that we can push that first balloon into the second one. Now this might take a little bit of practice. Might be helpful to do it outdoors in case that balloon pops, because sometimes they'll tear and then you get bird seed all over the floor. Make sure you don't have any sharp fingernails as well. So I'm going to stretch it and then Dawn's going to push that in there like that. And I'm going to help with my fingers as well. It's definitely a team effort. And then once you get it in there, look at that. You get a perfect juggling ball. But you've got this big ugly thing kind of poking off the end. With that, what you can do is just stretch it, and then with the help of your friend, have them carefully, with the scissors, cut that.
Watching out for fingers.
Watch out for fingers. And look at that. That is a beautiful juggling ball, and it's perfectly sized. Now, if you want it a little bit bigger, just put a little more bird seed in it. Want them a little smaller, put a little less bird seed. And if you don't have bird seed, you can use sand, you can use kitty litter, you could use popcorn. There's no limit. So experiment with different colored balloons, different fillings, different amounts, and work on learning to juggle. Now, juggling balls, like juggling silk handkerchiefs or plastic bags, it's the same basic pattern. However, it's going to take a lot more practice with juggling balls because they're a lot harder to catch. They fall a little bit quicker and they roll out of your hand a little bit easier. So I'm going to walk you through the 3 steps for learning how to juggle. The first step. First, you'll want to be nice and relaxed when you begin throwing and catching. Don't overthink it and definitely don't stress out over dropping the ball. You're going to drop the ball. It's a part of juggling. So the only thing that matters is that when you drop the ball, you look at what happens, you take a mental note, maybe you pay attention to where it went or which hand threw it, and you try again. By paying attention to what happens as you go through the process of learning, it'll speed up your juggling journey. So, 1 ball. First, what you want to do is you want to spread your legs, bend your knees, elbows by your side, and take a nice deep breath. We're going to practice throwing 1 ball back and forth from hand to hand. So, throw 1 ball up, catch it over here, throw 1 ball up, catch it over here. Now, notice when I do this, I have my hand facing up. I'm not grabbing at it, I'm not swiping at it, I just wait for it, and when I catch it, I go back down with the ball. So it's nice and soft. Also, notice that I throw it a little bit above my forehead in both directions. I'm throwing it a little bit above my forehead, a little bit above my forehead. It's important that I throw in both directions. Juggling uses both hands. So you don't want to practice throwing with 1 hand, catching with the other, and then passing across to do that again. We can practice both sides at the same time by throwing a ball back and forth, just like this. In fact, when we juggle 3 balls, they all move in this exact pattern. So you're practicing 3-ball juggling beautifully with this throw. 2 more things. When we throw the ball, we throw it up by our belly button and we catch it on the outside of our body. This is very important that we throw up by our belly button and catch on the outside of our body. We want the ball to go in a relaxed figure 8. Do you see that? Figure 8. Notice that that's different than this. This is more of an arch. Now, if we have 3 balls going in this pattern, what's going to happen? They're going to hit each other. So, underhand across your body, catch it, and swoop it back up. I'm not swinging my arm back. I'm not reaching at it. I just swoop it back up. One final thing. When I juggle 1, 2, or 3 balls, I just sort of watch the tops of the juggling pattern. I don't have to follow it down on my hand because you can't do that when you have 3 balls because you only have 2 eyeballs. So just watch the top. Your hand will, after a little while, figure out where it needs to be to make the catch. Step 1. Step 2. Now this is where you're going to spend most of your time practicing and most of your time dropping. But again, that's okay. Dropping is a part of juggling. Without dropping, there is no juggling. So, spread your legs, bend your knees, elbows by your side. What we're going to do now is the exact same throw we were doing, but we're going to do 2 of them, and we're going to work on timing. The timing is this. I throw 1 ball up, and right as it gets to the peak, I throw the other ball underneath it. 1, 2. That's what it looks like without the catches. Now, I didn't even try to catch them, and that's fine, because we're working on practicing the throws. Know what you're working on and work on that thing. So, I let them hit the ground and I can look down and see where they landed. They landed near me, so that's good. I could have caught them if I tried, probably. So, again, pay attention to your drops. There are clues all over the place when you're learning something new. So, after you've practiced throwing them and letting them drop a few times, then you can try to catch them. So I'm going to throw 1 up, right when it gets to the top, throw the other one underneath it. 1, 2, catch, catch. That looked pretty easy, didn't it? I've been practicing a whole lot. In fact, I've been juggling for over 30 years, and that's why it looks so easy when I do it. It's not going to look that easy for you, but stick with it. Practice the timing. Throw, throw, catch, catch. Throw, throw, catch, catch. Notice how the balls are both going the same height. Notice how I'm throwing up on my belly button, and notice how it goes underneath the ball coming down. Throw, throw, catch, catch. Now, after you practice on one side, let's say your right hand first, right, left, right, left, right, left. Then practice using the other hand first. I know it's gonna be messy, but that's okay. Juggling, like I said, is all about dropping and trying things that are hard, but stick with it. So, I'll start with my left hand this time. Left, right, left, right, left, right. Notice how I'm looking at the top of the pattern. Now, when you're practicing the 2, you don't want to keep it going. So, but what I mean by that is don't go 1, 2, and then do it real quick to make it look like you're juggling. Because if you speed it up too much, you're taking up the space where that 3rd ball is going to go. So if you're going to do it, it's important that you take a break, a pause in between each set of throws and each set of catches. If you want to get fancy, you can switch sides between each throw, but remember to give yourself a good pause. Right, left, pause, left, right. Right, left, left, right. 3 balls. This is the hardest step. No, that's not true. 2 balls is the hardest step, but 3 balls is juggling. So if you practice really good with the 2, you're ready for the 3. Now, like the plastic bag and scarf juggling, the hand has 2 starts. So practice by taking 1 ball and put it in the back of your hand, and take a 2nd ball and put it in your fingertips. And practice throwing that ball in your fingertips up first. Once you can do that, then we're going to get into juggling. Now, juggling is just linking that exchange back and forth. right, left, and left, right. We're gonna link it up. So here's what it looks like. 2 in one hand, 1 in the other. I'm gonna throw one ball up, right as it gets to the top, I'm gonna throw the second one underneath it, catch the first one. Second one's coming down, I'm gonna throw the third one up, catch the second one. Third one's going up, starts to come down, I throw the fourth one underneath it. Count your throws and keep throwing until you drop. That's right, keep throwing until you drop the balls. Because sometimes people will practice 1, 2, 3, and then they'll stop. Now you already know how not to juggle, so you don't have to practice stopping. So, practice throwing the balls back and forth underneath the one coming down, and don't stop until you drop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. At some point, you're probably gonna get so excited that you're gonna just throw the balls around and start jumping up and down with joy, and that is great. But remember, no matter what, if you drop them, pick them up again and give it another go. Try 3 throws at first, then 6 throws, then 10 throws, go for 25. If you can get to 100 without walking all around the house, or even with walking around the house, you have accomplished something great. Spend some time practicing juggling this week, whether you're working on the plastic bag juggling or the ball juggling. Remember that what separates someone that can juggle from someone that can't juggle is that a juggler always picks up after they drop. Nobody juggles the first time, or the second, or the third, or fourth, or fifth. In fact, it took me over a week just to start getting around 10 throws consistently with 3 balls. So take it slow, keep on picking up, and work on becoming even more awesome than you already are. If you want to show off your record number of throws, or a picture or video of you juggling, well, share it with us at USO-NC and at Flow Circus Inc. And remember to tag us, USO-NC Reset and Flow Circus in your posts. For more events and activities with the USO of North Carolina, see our website at uso-nc.org. More information about Flow Circus can be found at flowcircus.org.